Alright guys, what's up? It's been a while since our last video on the Subaru. Let me give you guys a quick update. This is as of June 2020. The reason why it's jacked up, I'm doing an oil change after getting a new tune. It was spitting too much fuel and some fuel got in the oil, so we're going to clean all that up and then go for a test drive. But what I wanted to update you guys on is the build progress. So if you guys remember, when I got this thing, it had a busted trans, the engine had over 250,000 miles or 220, whatever. So it was a mess. We tried rebuilding it. I did it quickly and on a budget, so I didn't take like the heads to get machined or anything like that. I just cleaned them up real good. And what happening was the engine itself and where it made it to the heads was warped. I guess I ran it hot, and you know, I could have thrown new heads on it, or I got to get the block planed down a little bit to make it fit. But that, like I said, that block had 220 plus thousand miles on it. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can find a new engine, which I did. This thing came from Canada with 55,000 kilometers on it, which is like 34,000 miles US. And so far so good, running really well. Threw a lot of parts on it. I used a lot from the other engine, so I used the oil pickup, the Killer Bee baffle, Killer Bee pickup, parent intake, Rev 9 front mount, which it says ETS, but you know, got a flex. Radiator, the Mishimoto one was busted. I did an AC delete, removed the power steering, or power steering's still there, but I moved the alternator over. It's still got like the evap and the fuel stuff, but I'm getting rid of that. It's got 1000cc injectors, 20G turbo, fuel lines, fuel kit. It's got a flex fuel sensor right here, but right now I'm not tuned for that, so I think I'm running 91 or 92, whatever it is out here. And the biggest thing that I did was convert the front to a blob eye instead of a bug eye. Now remember, this is a 02 WRX with a 5-speed. The 5-speed is rebuilt with a little stronger gears, same gearing and all that, but for now the 5-speed's gonna do until I have money to do a 6-speed once I get the body straight. Because you can see mismatched fenders, mismatched bumper, all this needs to be painted and sanded down and cleaned up. I did convert the rear to 04 or 05 as well. Finally got an exhaust on it, wingless trunk. I patched some holes. It used to have a keyhole here, removed that. It used to have an emblem hole there, removed that. That's a true wingless trunk, wingless shaved. And I'm looking to trade for an STI wing, but right now it's running decent. Like I said, I tuned it today on a base economy tune from PIA down in Tacoma, Washington. Pretty decent, wasn't too expensive. I finally replumbed the fuel because I had it setting for a deadhead system, which I wanted to, like a regulated return system, which I figured it all out. But you can see the janky hood prop still in use because I refinished this beautiful carbon fiber hood with hood scoop, and I'm waiting to put struts and other stuff. But you could still see the shitty patch job that I did to get this whole front clip put up. I'm gonna post pictures probably right about now about how it used to look and how wrecked the front was on the 02, and now it looks a lot better once I get lights and fix, you know, some fitment issues. It's fine, but everything lines up really good. Like I said, the body's not the straightest. There's some dings, dents you could see in the light. Dent here, dent there. So it still needs some body work, but I'm glad that it can move around the shop freely in and out. I had it sitting out here for a couple weeks while I cleaned up the shop and had some other cars going in here. I actually recently ceramic coated my wife's car, 2018 Crosstrek. Pretty decent. We did the whole interior, exterior. Pretty nice. This is like week one or two of it, and it lasts pretty good. Like, it brought back the black in the plastics, it revived like the window trims and a lot of this stuff. So I mean, if you guys are interested in ceramic coating, I'd highly suggest it. I know they could be pricey, but you could also get a kit on Amazon and, you know, eBay, whatever, and do it yourself. It just got to make sure it's prepped all nice. Update on the truck, haven't done much to it. I don't know, I did gauges, if you could see the pods in the window. I did gauges, I cleaned it up a bit. Yeah, I added an inch spacer on all the wheels so that I won't rub in the front anymore. That's really it. The truck, I haven't been driving the truck much because we've been stuck at home and minimal working. So the truck's got about 167 right now. I think I did its first oil change like a couple weeks ago of this year. So it hasn't been driving much. Like I said, I have a shit ton of parts still laying about that I'm trying to get rid of. Yeah, back to the engine. So yeah, it was a JDM engine minus TGV deletes. It's got dual AVCS, which I haven't done any work to the ECU for, so I don't think I'm gonna utilize those, but I do have them all plumbed up. You can see line running there, which goes back to the turbo, and then there's another sensor down in there somewhere. As I said, AC delete, don't really need AC out here in the Pacific North. It doesn't get too hot, and if it does, I mean, roll the windows down, you're good. But yeah, next step is getting rid of these wheels. These wheels are actually, I traded my old wheels that were on this car when I got it for these, which are actually going on the Crosstrek once that gets a little lift, and I'm gonna put some BFGs on that. So that's that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be doing, like I said, oil change today. Gonna go for a spin. I'll videotape that. I'll videotape some startups. Still does have check engine light and a bunch of other shit, which I think once I get tuned and pro tuned, it'll all be taken care of. But it's got a stage 2 ACT clutch, lightweight flywheel in it, so that's all figured out. This radiator's new to me. Bought it used, but it's no leaks. The other one, like I said, it was leaking, had a couple holes in it from the accident, so I scrapped it. I do have these blacked out JDM headlights, which ran me a pretty penny. Let's see if you can see, they're all blacked out. They were hard to find, but I did find a seller, got them imported. They are pretty snazzy. I'm waiting on, oh shit, a wiring conversion to convert these plugs. These are from an O2. I have to splice and strip and cut and make those fit up to the 0405 headlights. Shop's still a mess. Like I said, I've been in and out working on other stuff. I've been doing a lot of, you know, small projects here and there, car detailing, whatnot. But I did start working on some inserts for 04 and 05 Impreza trunks. I did like vinyl flooring, made a trunk layout. I'll post a picture here. They turned out pretty decent. You know, I sold them decently because we were redoing our floors in the house, and I was getting rid of some of the flooring, and they actually turned out pretty decent. But I made a couple of those, shipped them out, and then that's been on the back burner ever since I started working back on this. Did sell a lot of the stock parts. You know, that's got AOS, a new boost controller, good intake. Cooling system's good. I do have to figure out some of these gauge lines. I think it's for oil pressure sensor and whatnot, but I'm honestly just going to leave it for now. I'm just going to tuck it up. And like I said, my biggest thing is getting it on the road and moving under its own power. I have to figure out, when I first ran it up on the jack stands, I got through all the gears and they were running fine. I mean, the engine was running really choppy because it wasn't tuned for the injectors. So I was like limited to 3,000 RPM, but now I should be able to get a little bit more out of it. I'm gonna stay at a boost as much as I can. I'm just gonna drive it, you know, go get like Dairy Queen or some shit. But other than that, it's been almost a year with this car, and it's finally moving. Bought it in late August of 19, and it's early June 20. So I mean, about 11 months of working. I mean, in and out. I don't think I worked on this thing every day or every other day. It was kind of like, you know, a day here, a day there. But you can still see a lot of shit needs work. Like some of these fuel lines are held together with like brass 90s. I want to make them cleaner. These better hose clamps make these cleaner. Put more clamps on some vacuum lines and whatnot, and tighten up some loose ends. But other than that, I mean, once the engine's all figured out and tuned up nice, that's when I can start the body work. I'm going to completely strip everything down, new side skirts, paint everything, remove some dents or fill them. You can still see like all these shit I have circled. They're like dents or scuffs that I got to get removed. You know, body filler on some dents. But really it's just, you know, still a project, still a work in progress. So I mean, nothing is near finished. I do want to upgrade these brakes. Once I do get it running right, I want to go with a set of Cadillac Brembos, do that whole conversion, front and rears. That's really it. This video was just pretty much a decent little update of what happened to the engine, where it is now, what I've been doing. I do have a bunch of other vids and pictures of the actual tear down, rebuild, putting it in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out, lining things up, little things here and there that I'm gonna compile into like a mini build series. But right now this is just the, you know, video of what has been done in the past couple months, what my plans are for other vehicles, other projects. So once this thing is driving and I know it's fine and it's reliable and I could daily drive it, my plans are to start digging into the truck. I want to order wheels and tires, possibly a lift kit. I want to do a front end rebuild, and then eventually paint, fix up the body, and then do a engine rebuild at some point, or I'm sorry, transmission swap. I do really want a 6-speed. That thing is a built 48 RE, so we'll see how long she goes. She's been decent. I mean, she got from Virginia to here in, you know, a couple days, so it was pretty decent. But anyway, that's probably gonna wrap up this video. If you guys are new to the channel, you know, like, subscribe, keep in touch, comment any questions you guys got if I didn't answer them. But that's really it. I hope to be making more of these videos on this Subaru, and then eventually more videos on those two cars once they come in. I don't want to videotape like doing an oil change or anything like that, because I mean it's beat into the ground on YouTube of how to do stuff like that. So like maybe I'll do a video of like, you know, dyno pulls and pro tuning, and how to plumb, like how to set fuel pressure regulators and what I had to do to make some of this shit work. But you know, just keep in touch. I'll be around. You guys take care. Thanks. Bye.